The Armenian Genocide was 105 years ago. More than 1.5 million Armenians perished. It is well known by genocide scholars that in 1939, Hitler urged his generals to exterminate members of the Polish race, saying, quote, "Who speaks today of the extermination of Armenians?" History repeating itself. Rwanda, Guatemala, Cambodia, to name a few. History repeating itself over and over again. In an effort to stop and prevent genocide and break the cycle, the USC Shoah Foundation is working to preserve oral history of genocide survivors. A large collection of the testimony is that of thousands of Armenian genocide survivors.
I am 98 years old, and to this day, I cannot forget any of this. I lost 11 members of my family, and I have to beg people to believe me. That's what hurts you most.
Genocide survivor testimony. It is the job of Manuk Avedikian at the USC Shoah Foundation to preserve, digitize, and catalog the stories, eyewitness accounts that otherwise would be lost.
In this pile, they start with their swords and bayonets, killing us boys.
There's an immense amount of human suffering. Each survivor, however, like I said, has a unique story.
Thousands of Armenian genocide survivor testimonies now at the Shoah Foundation, Avedikian working on building the only searchable database in the world.
The first collection of Armenian genocide interviews came from the Armenian Film Foundation, which was founded by J. Michael Hagopian, who was director and a survivor himself. Many American Armenians know of him as he directed the first Armenian genocide documentaries, and a lot of the interviews that he did for his documentaries ended up becoming part of this collection's film archive. And we have 333 interviews from the Armenian Film Foundation, and now we are working on the Richard Hovannisian oral history collection, which he's also worked on since the 1970s, just like Hagopian. He eventually gathered over 1,000 interviews, which is the largest the collection of Armenian genocide interviews that we have in the world. There's times where, especially with the recent interviews from Richard Hovannisian's archive, some survivors that talk about their journey in detail, and they become my heroes. These people are really resilient. Each one of these Armenians, or each one of these people, has a very unique way of expression. So they have their own dialects, they have their own totally different lives and traditions before this genocide. So if you were to look into like an upper class Black Sea Armenian who's urbanite, and look to a villager from Van, you would get a totally different. These people were from different classes, had totally different backgrounds. And what makes all these survivors the same is you have wealthy people, and then you have people that were already orphaned because of a previous massacre or for other reasons, and they all ended up in the same place. They all ended up on the road to death.
It's an experience I wouldn't wish even my worst enemies.
Avedikian says that the heart of fighting denial is large-scale personal testimony that makes it so much more difficult for institutions, organizations, and governments to ignore. He's been archiving thousands of stories, documenting the unthinkable things survivors had to endure, some forced into situations that has haunted them for life.
Քրդերը adont հյուրասիրելու ամեն ձև վերջ բերեցին ուրիշ տղակ նաև ինձ է կանչեցի ներս ախորեն եւ այդ պատի տակը դրած էին երկու հատ հրացան այդ երկու հրացաններեն մեկը լեցուն կլա կենտանի փամփուշտով մեկը դադարք եւ հրամայեցին ինձ եւ մյուս տղային որ երտանք հրացանը վերցնենք ամեն մեկս մեկ ես վերցրի հրացան առանց գտնելու թե ինչ է եւ նա է վերցրեց եւ կույր պախտես այնպես եղավ որ իմ հրացանի մեջ կենտանի փամփուշտ էր երբ հրամայեցին կրագել կրագեցի տղանը վարնգավ ես խելահեղորեք Երանի կդայի որ ես լայի նրա փոխարեն կույր պախտես ես չեղա նա եղավ եւ այդ մղձավ անջի նման մտքիս վրա ծանրացած է զոր ու գիշեր 78 տարի անցած այդ դեպքեն տագավին չեմ մոռանա միշտ կենտանի է 68 տարի այդ կրնակիս վրա ծանրացած է եւ հոգուս վրա մղձավանջ է դարձած մենակ այն ադենք ազատեմ երբ ես 6 ոտք խոր կենի տագլա չեմ կարող կենտանիքյանց մոռանալ
Making Schindler's List was an experience that truly changed my life.
The Shoah Foundation is a non-profit organization that was founded by Steven Spielberg after the filming of Schindler's List in 1994.
How did you survive?
He decided to gather testimony from tens of thousands of Holocaust survivors. The project grew to include oral history of other crimes against humanity around the world. It is now the largest oral history archive that is being put into a visual history archive.
The work that we do at the Shoah Foundation is to try to promote interdisciplinary study of genocide through testimony. As we know, each genocide experience is unique and its own thing, but it's undeniable that there's so many common trends among all genocides. Among the Guatemalan genocide, the Holocaust, like what happened in Rwanda against the Tutsi, and the Armenian Genocide, there's so many common trends of why perpetrators do what they do, the economic components, the types of violence. Like the Visual History Archive provides significantly easier access to do comparative genocide research. I know that the work that we do provides the platform to make genocide prevention just a little easier. As difficult as this topic is, as difficult as nationalism and bigotry and racism is in the world.
The Shoah Foundation is still looking for support and funding to finish this project to preserve, digitize, and index and translate the testimonies. If you are interested in helping them through this process, log on and search for USC Shoah Foundation. I'm Silva Harapetian.